Yo, what is going on, guys? J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with The Letter. So, I'm very happy that this series is back. I'm enjoying it so far, and I hope that you guys will stick with me on this journey. Before we get into the video, I just want to mention that for me, school is going to be starting up real quick, and I will be very busy. I have a lot of things going on, out of school activities, work, all that kind of fun stuff. But I promise you that the videos will still be getting cranked out, and I'm going to be back in full swing in just a bit here. So, without further ado, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Alright, first let's check our relationship statuses. I don't know exactly who changed. So, looks like our relationship is best with Ashton right now. Oh yes, I remember we had that cute little moment with Ash. Isabella's kind of fallen for him, you know? Let's see, new, I think we already read that one. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's go. October 23rd, Sunday, Luxburn Central Park. The cat's name is Burathiel. I don't know who's talking right now. Or at least that's what his collar says. It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail, his eyes follow my hand's every movement. Oop. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea, carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries, without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all of these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but at home they're considered ill omens. Ah, so we are Isabella. Don't look at me like that. I can act gracefully as well if I wanted to. Not that I ever acted gracefully in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and sisters does that. Oh, and big sister, I guess. I'm kind of curious because I feel like this family over here and the right is probably a family from maybe another story, potentially, of this company's. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather, and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or cross my path. Where's your owner, anyway? He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away? Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before. A cat. Not black, of course. Whoa, okay, Isabella. Chill out there. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could. I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops. Do you want one? He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice before. Burathiel! Ah, okay. It is the interior designer. Like a good, properly trained pet, Burathiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. I'm going to start reading these little inner monologues in her voice. Miss McCullough's hard to miss, what with her height. I'm sorry, did my cat hurt you? I think she had a British accent, I'm not sure. Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here. Nice to see you again, Miss McCullough. Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry, Burathiel's not exactly fond of other people. He even ran away from the veterinarian right now. Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier. My Burathiel's a she. She? All this time I thought... The pause in the conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot. And if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly won't hurt, right? Alright, talk about her job, or talk about her cat. Interesting. I'm gonna save. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. There we go. I'm kind of sort of interested in her job, and I'm wondering if that might lead to conversation about who the couple is. But at the same time, I might want to talk about the cat because I feel like it's such a mundane topic that it has to be important, right? Oh, this is tough. Let's talk about a cat. I keep my tone cordial and warm. I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough. And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets. Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one. I don't understand what you're trying to get at. What you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat? No, not at all. She's very sweet. It's just, in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck? Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about it, and nothing has happened to me so far. Okay. Well, clearly you fucked up on that. Oh, it went down. It went down. No, I can't let this happen. Let me go to load. I know I'm cheating. But I just want to make sure that I want to keep improving relationships, but I don't want to mess them up. That's just how I play it. I apologize if you want me to just kind of play it as it is as I go. But personally, I like trying to get the best outcome if possible. I'm just curious about your work. What about it? There's something guarded in her expression at the mention of work, but I pushed through with my question. I just want to know, how is it to work on a house like the Ermengarde mansion? Is it hard? I guess she wasn't expecting a question like that, if the way her eyebrows shot up tells me something. Because of its age. I wouldn't say it is. It is a challenge, considering the factors me and my team have to sort out. But it's a good project, a breath of fresh air from what I usually work on, and I have a good team. Those original fittings, though, it might be old, but the architecture is magnificent. I'm sure you've seen the stained glass windows in the foyer. Oh, I can hardly think of so many things I could do with it. But, of course, my team will have to double-check for necessary repairs here and there. That's probably for the best. It's easy to break some key elements with a rush restoration job, and who knows what other hidden issues there might be underneath. People can be so careless. I'm sorry, I spoke too much. No, it's okay. You seem to really love what you're doing. It's not really like that. I'm just lucky to have found work in an interesting field. Anyway, Bureau feels due for her visit to the vet. Nice talking to you, Miss Santos. I wish you luck with what you're planning to work on. It seems like a big project, too. She gestures with her head towards the bags, the ones filled with stuff I've recently bought from the art store. It's a project for a friend, actually. All the same, good luck. See? Look at that, and watch. Look how much her fucking... Oh my god, it just shot up. Jesus Christ, it just shot up. Alright. Good, that's good, I like that. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she's forgotten to say. By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean. I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized? There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now. Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know. Wait, about the mansion, the letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not gonna believe me. Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough. I hasten to pick up all the bags I've left on the bench and run as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. Dang. Alright, let's see here. New entry. While looking after a lost cat, she runs into the interior, blah, blah, blah. The two were seen having small talk before Isabella abruptly left. You know, it's kind of interesting because, you know, sometimes in these types of games, like these journal entries where it kind of talks like it's in the third person, like from an outside perspective, might actually be somebody spectating from the outside, you know? But who knows? The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who'd been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else. In other local news, a woman has been found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but have classified the case as homicide. Huh? The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent. Rose? Oh, shit. Oh my god. That took oh, Jesus. That took a turn. Okay. Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat, with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone's kept telling me, so why? And I... Immediately, I rushed to my study table in search of my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as I touch its edges. A piece of folded paper. The letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago, and she was okay. No. It isn't Rose. I'm sure of it. I just talked to her, and... A sob escapes me, and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another, they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and call me a wuss afterwards. She'll answer. Please, answer, Rose. Again and again I dial, whispering, praying, pleading. Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please, pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not. This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case. The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers, but in my ears, I can only hear screams. Her pleas, her whispers. We're not safe. Jesus Christ. Dude! Like, we just went from like, oh, a nice little jog in the park. You know, oh, Ash, my love and my darling. Ooh, oh my God. You know, a nice leisurely chat with Miss McCullough. To, hey, yeah, your coworker, yeah, she's been brutally fucking murdered. So much so that she not only made news, but her blood was like splattered all over the wall. Oh, Jesus. Timeline. Alright, I guess there's nothing specifically new there. Fucking hell. A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep, to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled position the night before. If I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. It sounds easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of one letter I was too curious to take a look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else had gotten involved. I should have... The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. I check it, nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. To all BRC employees, in light of the recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, and policies will be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports from the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for review. We are expecting everyone's cooperation. Thank you, Joan Alice Schultz, BRC HR Manager. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. On the other hand, the place in itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. I should just... Yikes. We're gonna save again. I think I'm gonna go to work, just cause I feel like right now... I feel like this meeting... I don't know, okay? We're gonna go to work. I mean, I don't want to just set us into a lull of nothingness and despair. I mean, we have to at least get going, right? Do something. Moping won't get me anywhere. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile, no matter how bad it gets, and hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This too, I'll deal with. Somehow, I'll find a way to make things right. I have to. Before it takes more people from me. Even if I must do it on my own. Alright. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at Brea Reality Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose. If they missed last night's report, they'd likely seen it in the morning news, in the papers, or in various news sites on the internet. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the mere mention of Rose would be enough to trigger something in me. It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it's about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything is better. I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for her funeral yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word, in my office. At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers, and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to, anyway, if I want to forget. Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily like that. The Luxburn Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people. The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history from the current owners and list of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff. They may have a lot of agents hired, but I'd remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us in preparing the mansion for the open house. Then the letters... No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. But Rose is... Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people. Rose. The letter. I need to... No. If it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first. Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe... I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. The letter, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them into my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should... The noise cuts sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag. Hello? Anyone there? Someone must have left their printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person is certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time it's Rose who does the nagging, but... The clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for the said object. Each stride my feet takes echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learn to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each of it up to put someplace proper. But the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as the day in that attic. The sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. And as if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. Soft grating through the thin veil of stillness has descended into the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar. So familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. It's her, standing in the only exit of the office, albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back. The pen I'm holding slips from my hand and her entire head turns. A scream almost escapes my mouth, and I duck under my table as quickly as I can. My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and the telltale squelch of something wet as she walks towards me. Nearer and nearer. The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it covers my mouth. Someone, please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. Why are there quick time events? Why are there quick time events? Oh, Jesus. The seconds, minutes stretch out before me agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly, I open my eyes to take a peek. I don't dare move or make a noise. In the face of such terror, I can only beg, let out silent pleas to whoever's out there. Please, please don't let her notice. I want to live. What? So we just changed characters now? What the fuck? We're Hannah now. Bruh. Okay. What the hell? Profiles. Alright, do we have a profile on Hannah? Yes, we do. Alright, Hannah Wright Nee Evans. Birth date, April 30th, Taurus, 31 years old. 5'7". She's an heiress. She's British. Her religion is Anglican. Masters in business administration, blah, 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 blah. She likes bois de bois. I don't know. Dogs, fashion, parties and dancing, the beach, children, iconic women, charity, and math. Of all the Luxembourg upper classes, Hannah is used to living a life of luxury. Absent parents made her crave for attention, though, something she gained from her private tutors and nannies instead. It was never enough, however. She studied hard in order to make her parents proud, going into business so that she could work alongside them. The challenge in her otherwise privileged life was certainly a thrill for her, at the very least. She had many suitors, dating different men and women, but it was through work that she met Luke. It was love at first sight for her. Upon her parents' death, Luke proposed to her. That was the move that led to the merging of Wright Enterprise and Evans Incorporated and her subsequent retirement. Their 7-year marriage is strained, but Hannah tries her best to make it work. Oh, so we're playing as the lady. Yeah, the lady who bought the house. It's far too easy to get them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile if we are honest, and a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am Hannah Wright. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar, but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right. Officer Lee, what a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party. He's more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I'm quite sure I only invited his wife. Much like I am only friends with the Chief Inspector because of Luke, Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for the Lee matriarch. It was an odd sort of relationship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N, I think. I might be wrong. Aside from being Chief Inspector of Luxembourg Police, his wife, Rochelle Denis Vance, owns a general electronics company. Fridges and freezers, mostly. Oh, I always have time for my favourite socialite couple. Might I say you look positively ravishing tonight? I see the husband isn't with you. By the way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. I just wish Luke is here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets, and getting close just because my husband is not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. In my house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity. I suppose you're looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here.
A shame. I do hope she isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor. The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with the doctor and she needs to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so, as he would never leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, I've been extricated from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He's a nice enough person, and I adore his wife, who's obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. I do not trust him as much as I want to. He regaled to me tales of the Luxburn Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I am privy to, and, though I loathe to admit, is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But, oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the new temp chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked in the garage.
Oh my! You make him chase you all the way home for a prank? What did Rochelle have to say about that? Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He's a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. A lifetime if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know? Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown, I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place so far away from the city, even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale. That's something mansion. You know, the one with all the ghost stories.
I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's the Ermengarde Mansion.
That's the one. Though worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses. A place like that would be a real fixer-upper. You'll also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at the Christchurch summer residence?
Of course, it was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer, and they turned it into a bloody palace.
She worked for the Exeters on their apartment in Soho too, and they recommend her I can't talk.
And they recommended her when we were looking up places for our beach house in Porto Colum. I think I have a business card right here. Ugh, no, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's what's her name, McCullough. Marianne, I believe. Yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place and McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and talk of the town.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway. Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe lots of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As it is, I only invited about 30 people to this one, and it already feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's word and not mine. Besides, I've been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? Okay. We're gonna actually save it right there. And we're gonna leave. Alright! So, very, very interesting episode. So, not only did Rose get fucking butchered, but Isabella's in a bit of a fucking tight pinch right now as well. So, I'm guessing that we're gonna probably go through each of the 5 characters just because that's what makes sense. So you go through each of the 5 characters, and then maybe at the end you kind of have some sort of finishing up, or it could be possible that we play as Hannah all the way through to when Isabella maybe escapes. So maybe our decision making in that moment possibly change the ending or our interactions in the future. Or it could just go up to when they purchase the house, and then from there you kind of know the rest of the story. But it does bring me a theory, though. Earlier we questioned Miss McCullough about why she has a black cat, and then the police guy just said, oh, well, only people who, people wouldn't want to work on the house because of superstition. But it's kind of been pointed out that, Miss McCullough has a black cat, which is kind of odd to Isabella because of the superstition that surrounds it. So it's kind of no wonder that she would take up the job of working on said haunted mansion. But an insanely interesting episode. I'm very excited to see where this goes. And I'm just wanting to get back to Isabella, quite honestly. But we're going to have to play through these other characters to get back to her, I suppose. Anyways, that's going to be for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you would like to see me play next. If you enjoy this series or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you will be notified when a new one of those videos comes out. Anyway, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one.